Interactive media friends. Interactive media trends. Yeah.
Can you imagine living in a world where you're connected to everyone, everything and everywhere without ever even having to lift a finger or turn on a PC?
Humans are advancing rapidly, and over the last century, technology has been improving at an exponential rate, with the number of mobile phones set to exceed the world's population by 2014, up from virtually zero 3 decades ago. It's safe to assume that in another 2 decades, amazing things will be possible.
We have gone from virtually nobody having a mobile link to people being able to make mobile telephone calls, to mobile texting, to mobile internet, video sharing, social media, instant messaging, tablet PCs, and even the first human trials of communication by thought-controlled technology, which may inevitably hail mind-connected internet.
Even today, there's widespread use of smart devices, in particularly in the most developed countries. For example, 31% of internet users in the US are said to own a tablet PC, which they use mainly for consuming published content such as news and videos.
In the first quarter of 2013, the smartphone with the largest market share was the Apple iPhone 5, with a share of only 15%. This represents problems for designers, who have had to adapt the way they design the pages, programs and apps to reflect a more diverse mobile and PC market.
This leads us nicely onto the topic of responsive design, which has become a necessity in the last few years since the advent of affordable smartphones. Responsive design means that a single web page or app must be made to function on numerous devices, and has created a huge challenge for the conventional programmers and developers.
There are examples of responsive design which combat these issues. Traditionally, responsive design would relate to the size and dimensions of an app or page changing to fit the device on which it's being displayed. However, recently, developers have started to get more creative in an effort not to be left behind in the race to the lead of the rapidly growing app market. Many of the more cutting-edge apps now change the layouts of menus and interfaces in order to complement the crude change in size and dimensions.
Data being used for personalized browsing primarily takes the form of targeted and personalized advertising, in which companies will purchase a person's web and transaction history in order to show them adverts which will be relevant to them. So for instance, if you spend an hour looking for cake recipes on Google, you'll start to see a lot of ads to buy baking accessories, and in theory you'll be more likely to click on the ad and spend your money.
This data and explosion in the use of mobile devices links to the integration of apps in everyday life, bringing regular web experiences to the average person's mobile browser. This has occurred most successfully with social networking and media apps, with the Facebook app appearing as the most popular free download on Google Play.
Subscription media services such as Spotify and Netflix have also enjoyed successful app launches, with the Netflix app hailed as being partially responsible for its boom to 33 million subscribers in the last few years. The use of apps on smartphones has made cheap communication readily available, mobile media and gaming an expectation in everyday life, which is a far cry from the days only a decade ago when Snake was considered the forefront of mobile interactive media.
The future hails the rise of the so-called Internet of Things, which relates heavily to smart devices. This is the idea that everyday objects and household appliances will be connected to the Internet and therefore be able to communicate with one another. This means that society will run much more efficiently, be greener and improve people's quality of life. An example of the Internet of Things would be your car telling your central heating when you go to work, to prevent the waste of heating an empty house. This could spell amazing and unimaginable consequences for interactive media, which in short is traditional media which allows the audience to give input or which responds to the user's actions. One classic example of interactive media is video gaming, which is sure to break new boundaries in the next decade, with computer-animated people predicted to become indistinguishable from real people during the 2020s. Interactive media, then, is sure to become unrecognizable in the next 10 years. Not only will it be heavily influenced by the Internet of Things, but the advent of brain-computer interfaces, which are currently undergoing their first human trials, will change the way we think of video gaming and the way we consume traditional media such as videos, news, and so on. This huge interconnectedness with other people and devices, as well as the huge increase which is predicted in computing power in the next decade or two, will surely bring about massive cultural and social changes, altering the way we look at aspects of life such as healthcare, conservation, education, and the way we spend our leisure time. The question is, are you ready for a world in which all is one and one is all?